Greek city-states. Guys, Greek city-states hold immense importance in Western political philosophy, since the Western philosophy or the Western political philosophy was started from Greek city-states. It was the Greek city-state system from where the researchers came out who start thinking on different political systems and different governments, and this is and the ancient Greek political thought was started from there. And these Greek city-states were not naturally existing states, and they were different from each other, and they were separated from each other by natural hindrances, for example, mountains, rivers, and forests. It was just like a city state was established in one valley, and another city state was established in another valley. So they were not naturally existing, and they were not artificially developed. Rather, they were naturally existing states, and they were so small. The population was not too large. Because of this, almost everyone in the state was participating in all types of governments, and because of this feature, the Greek city-states in Greek city-states there was not difference between a function and another function. The same person was a military man, and at the same time he was a politician as well. Now let's take a brief introduction of Greek city-states. Uh, Remember, guys, most of the political and economic devices that we are currently using in modern democratic states are derived from Greek city-states. Yet their ideals are derived from Greek city-states and Greek political institutions. Their meaning is different. They become worthless in modern democratic states, yet they are derived from institutions of city-states. For example, the concept of liberty is derived from the Greek city-states. The concept of democratic system of government is derived from the Greek city-states, yet their meaning is changed because the concept of liberty, what they were thinking in the Greek city-state system, is totally different now. And the system of government, for example, democratic government, it's derived from the Greek city-states, but the meaning is drastically changed. At that time, it was not a representative democratic system. It was a direct democratic system. Now we are having representative type of democratic system, which is totally different from the direct democratic system, although the concept is derived from there. And the organs of states, for example, uh, legislature, executive, and judiciary, this concept is derived from the Greek city-states, because in Athens, the system of legislature, the organ of legislature, executive, and judiciary were developed. Although they were totally different, the meaning is drastically changed, and the working system is changed with time, but the concept is derived from there. Despite common religion and language, there was vast social and political difference. All the states in Greek were having common religion and a common language, but still there was vast social and political differences. Their system of government was not same, their social system was not same, although religion and language was common in all Greek city-states. They were associated towards two states, Athens and Sparta. These two states, Athens and Sparta, were the major players in the Greek political system. In the entire Greek political system, there were small number of states, and they were either associated with Athens or they were associated with Sparta. And these two states, Athens and Sparta, were the major players in the Greek political system. And they were not friends. Athens and Sparta were in state of quarrel at different times, and their system of government was different. For example, in Athens there was democratic system, and in Sparta there was oligarchic system. So The system of government was different, and they were not friends, and remaining small states were either associated with Athens or Sparta, and these states were unconsciously developed. As I already told you, they were not artificially developed, rather they were naturally developed states, and they were small states. uh, Athens and Sparta were the largest states among them, and they were remaining states were associated with them, and they and all states were unconsciously developed. For example, a state was developed in a valley, and another state was developed in another valley, and if a state is developed on a plain, one plain, another state was developed on another plain. So they were naturally developed, and they were divided by natural factors. For example, they were divided by mountains, rivers, forests, and so on. They tried different forms of government. They tried democratic system of government, they tried monarchical system of government, they tried aristocratic system of government, and they not only tried these forms of government, rather after trying a system of government, they do some research on that system of government as well. This created political conscience among masses. As a result, the Western political philosophy was started. There were social classes, there were well-developed social classes in Western or in the Greek city-states. There were major three social classes. The first was the political distinct class. The political distinct class was the most aristocratic class in the Greek city-states. They had full political and social rights. They could participate in government affairs. They could make government. They could make laws for the state. And this class was the class who had the authority to decide war and peace. So this was the topmost class. This was the class, you can say that this was the ruling class, right? And they were associated with their state. For example, and remember guys, they were naturally born citizens, and they were associated with the state. For example, a naturally born politically distinct citizen of Athens could never become a citizen of Sparta, because he was naturally born citizen of Athens, and he was associated with that, and he had the power to rule over Athens. Next was the legally distinct class. Legally distinct class had also social rights. They had the right to do business. They had right to do another art, practice another arts, but they were not politically distinct because they had no right to make government, or they had no right to participate in government. They had no say in government policies. They were bound to follow the policies made by the political distinct class, but they were socially distinct because they were not slaves. They were doing business, or they were doing any other art. And the third class was the slave. The slaves, obviously, they were the people who were working for politically distinct class and legally distinct class, and uh, it was a well-developed institution. The slave was a well-developed institution in Greek system. There were proper laws made for the slaves that could not be broken. For example, no slave could be punished by another person other than his master, and if he did so, he had to face punishment. So the slaves was a well-developed institution in government. I had also slaves who were working for the state. We do have a separate lecture on the institution of slaves in Greek city-states. Please do subscribe to our channel and visit that as well. There you will learn more about the slaves, or the institution of slaves in the political system, or in the Greek political system, since this is a very important chapter in the Western political philosophy for graduate students and for master students. both in Pakistan as well as in India. I hope you guys enjoy this clip. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and press bell icon so you will come to know when we will upload another video. Thank you for joining. Take care. Goodbye.